Hey, welcome to the second episode of XP Overdrive. I'm Baka.
Hi, I'm Gray.
And I'm Ray.
Kind of rhymed.
We did rhyme, didn't it?
Eh,
Maybe we
You
should
know,
come a little rap song.
Do it!
There we
the
go.
XP rap.
Yeah, there you go.
That'll be the next episode is Rain will teach us how to rap. I will get to finally live my dream as a rapper.
What would be your rap name?
I got you.
Gray.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mine is already rain, so it just fit. It goes with everything.
Have you ever seen? I I don't know if like it was a thing for you guys, but I spent some time on Tumblr, but there was like a what is your dot dot dot, and it could be like rap name or like what is your such and such name, and it would be like based on like the day you were born, the month, and like the shirt color you were wearing and such.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I
Oh
remember
yeah.
stuff
Those
like
are those are
that.
great. Those are
That was
great.
a great time. I miss
Really
those.
quick. Before we get started into what we're talking about, there's a rapper. He's an actor too. His name is Childish Gambino.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Um,
love
yes, yes,
him.
yes.
I remember
It's,
him back in like before Mystery Team, back when it
Yeah.
was Derek Comedy on YouTube.
He
Oh
was also
yeah.
in
Fan.
Community,
Yeah.
I
Big
believe.
fan.
Yeah, so he actually got his name from a Wu-Tang name generator.
Yes,
Oh,
he did.
really?
Yeah, yeah, that's how he got his name. Yeah, and that's what made me become a fan because any fan of Wu-Tang is definitely a friend of mine. I love Wu-Tang, so
Oh yeah.
but yeah,
I'm
he
still
got it
trying
from
to
a
get on the
Wu-Tang.
show.
Huh? Oh yeah, you told me about that. Oh,
I keep submitting. They still never take me.
I mean, I already
So-
do love you, Gray, but I will love you forever. I swear to God.
Trying. I'm trying.
That would be awesome. My wife actually took me to go see Method Man and Redman on my birthday last year. So, or it was 2 years ago. My bad. But yeah, it was before the pandemic. But yeah, that was probably the greatest thing ever. So,
It's really cool.
oh yeah. But today though, what we want to also talk about are video game to movie adaptations. So
Yes.
getting into that, well, first off, before like we even name some of these movies though, how do you guys feel in general about movies that get or games that get turned into movies? Like, do you
I-
generally enjoy them or you just think they all suck?
Okay, so this is gonna sound a wee bit pretentious, but I feel like it depends on who is doing the adaptation. Like,
Oh, yeah.
not to not to shade, because Netflix. So Netflix has kind of like a hit or miss representation, should I say. Like, some of their adaptations are great. Like, recently there was the Cuphead series, which got really good reception. But then there's other adaptations they've done which have gotten horrible reception. Like, I believe the recent Resident Evil movie, it got horrible reception.
Yeah,
Still only one episode in. I don't. I
Yeah.
haven't watched more yet.
I haven't watched the Resident Evil series because I don't. I mean, like I want to, but I'm afraid to because the Resident Evil movies have been very bad with, in general. Like, especially the newest Resident Evil movie that Welcome to Raccoon City was. I mean, I did not enjoy it all. But I agree with you though. I agree. I think it depends because there's some that I actually do enjoy that other people don't like, and there's some I don't like that people enjoy, and then some are just flat out terrible. So.
Yeah.
But I do agree with the Netflix stuff. Like I know that some of the Netflix adaptations have been pretty decent off and on. Like, but mostly it's not always just the live action too. The animated ones in as well. Like some of them have been pretty cool.
Mhm.
I do agree. I'm kind of like on 50-50 with that. Some are good, some are bad.
I don't know if they would do it. I doubt that Netflix would do it. I doubt any company would do it. I started writing a mini-series script adaptation for Rule of Rose. I want Rule of Rose to be adapted into a mini-series so badly because I think it would be so good, but I also don't know any company that would take it because for anyone unfamiliar with Rule of Rose, it's dark. It is so dark. It is heavy. Like, it is not for the faint of heart, but I think that story is incredible. I think it would make a fantastic miniseries. Like, I want to see it, but I also want to see it done right. I do not want people cutting corners. I do not want them trying to like make it happier. Like, I want it to be a completely 100% faithful 6-episode miniseries, one for each of the months that are covered in the game. So you're just an episode per month. Like, I think it would be great. I think it would be so great.
I will say, some of the movies that are adapted and people don't like, I tend to really like them. Like
Silent Hill
the
who?
first Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love those.
I love that so much.
Yeah,
I mean, it
did.
didn't help that I was maybe like 15 or so when I first watched it, and I was just like, this is so cool.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love that movie. Just imagine how it was for me, like when the game came out. That's when the movie was coming out, like a little bit afterwards.
Was
as
it like 2004 or something?
young
Or-
teenagers, like young adults, and it came out and we're like, oh god, Laura Croft. Like, yeah. That
Yeah,
movie was-
yeah.
I still love that movie. I didn't really care for the second one, but the first one, yes.
I didn't watch the second one.
Yeah, it wasn't
I
as
think
good.
I saw the second. I don't remember it, but I remember loving the first one and thinking it was
Yes.
great. And
Yeah.
thinking Angelina Jolie was like A+ casting.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, she.
I think that
perfect
was
casting.
great. Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
that was great casting.
It was. She did it
It
perfectly.
was 2001. It came out.
2001.
2001, yeah.
Oh.
I was 19.
I,
I will not say my age.
I was 4.
Well, you,
So was I.
like I said in the last episode, I'm the old man of the group. This is where what I meant.
Oh
It's
my
all good.
god. So
But-
I was still on the page and I scrolled down and got a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh wow,
What?
wow,
It
wow.
Like,
it was that
oh.
low. It was like
Yeah.
I remember it being good.
It's not that bad.
Well, I think the reason why we thought it was good is because we're kids. You know, we're watching. We're not, you know, necessarily. We're like kids who are into video games and into these movies. We're like, yeah, this is good. I
will
still
say-
think it
Good
was.
action flick.
Yeah, it
I
was a good
haven't
action
watched
flick.
it in probably like 10 years. But
Yeah.
I'm always very scared to go back and watch these movies that I watched as a kid. Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
they hold up now or if like I am just veiled with nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
'Cause-
did you guys see the new Lara Croft Tomb Raider movie?
No, there's a new one.
There
Yeah,
is. There
yeah.
was a newer one a few years ago. That
It's-
one was also really good.
yeah, it was decent. It was actually based off the newer games.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, it was. I know the lady who played Laura Croft. Her, I think it was something Vikander. I can't remember her name
Is
right off.
it
I don't
2018?
remember.
But
That sounds right.
yeah, I think it was about 2018. Yeah.
Alicia Vikander?
Alicia. Yeah, there she go. Alicia Vikander. Yeah. Yeah, she.
Yeah, she did a good job. I remember it being like a good movie.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
So, if it's based off of the new games, this is great casting because she looks relatively close.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, she does.
I think she did some stunts, if I remember correctly.
I
too,
think so. I
which
think-
I always props. I mean, like
Oh,
Lucy
yeah.
Liu,
you should
though,
never be expected, but it adds something if you
Oh,
do
yeah.
some of
Yeah.
her stunts.
it's like whenever I think about actors doing their own stunts, for whatever reason, I think Lucy Liu and Charlie's Angels.
Oh yeah. Oh
Jackie
yeah.
Chan.
Jackie
Oh
Chan.
yeah.
Oh man, I could give you a whole episode of Jackie Chan alone. I was a huge Jackie Chan fan. So.
Oh, as you should be. He's great.
He's a legend, man.
He's great.
The games, bad movies that people generally call a bad game movie. I don't care what anybody says, though it's got a lot of crazy tropes in it that are pretty bad. But I loved the Mario Brothers movie. when
It
I
was
a
great.
kid.
Oh,
It was
did.
great.
it was
Yeah.
great.
It was so good.
It was-
Wait, I watched the version that had the song in it. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I did.
Art, masterpiece, perfection.
Yes. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I don't care. I know that movie. I mean, yes, technically it probably should be bad, but I enjoyed it as a kid, as a gamer, and you're like, oh my God, they're making a movie of my favorite, games. Like, of course you want to see it and you're going to enjoy it. Kids don't really think about all that stuff, but
Yeah.
but even to this day though, I still like it. I watched it probably like a few months ago, with my oldest daughter, and she enjoyed it somewhat, but it was pretty cheesy. Like John Leguizamo, who was playing, what was it? It was Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Mario and Luigi Mario.
And so yeah, I mean,
so good.
it was so good. It's stupid, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. That, and I think sometimes that should be all that matters with any of these movies. I don't think it should be like a Oscar-worthy masterpiece or anything like that. Some of them are good. They're just cheesy and they're stupid fun.
I would like to counter this with the Monster Hunter movie.
Oh my God, Baka.
Favorite?
I was just like, I'm gonna break this man's hold.
Like I said, there's 50-50. There's some, there's bad
For
too.
every Mario movie, there's a Monster Hunter movie.
Yes. God, that Monster Hunter movie was atrocious.
It's like I wanted
need
to like
see
it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen after I make you watch High School
Okay,
Musical
yeah.
1.
Oh, you're going. Oh my God.
I plan to watch every movie adaptation of a game, every live action.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because if you include the animated, I think that I would die of old age first.
Oh, yeah.
So every live action adaptation of a game.
We can do that in movie nights. We can do all that. I don't have any problem with watching those. Because there's stuff I still haven't seen.
I wanted to like it. I really wanted to like the Monster Hunter movie.
I did too.
Because, like, the concept was kind of cool. Where, like, I don't remember, were there, like army folks or such? Where they get, like, trapped in the Monster Hunter universe. And, like, they get separated, I believe? Or, like, a bunch of them die. But there's, like, essentially the quote-unquote, like, final girl. Who's like essentially like learning to deal with whatever's going on and interact with some folks and such. And I was like, the concept is great, but the execution is not great. I feel like for like a good portion of the movie, nothing really happens.
True.
And then it was like near the end when like a bunch of action happens and there's I forgot what creature it was, but a big ass creature. Yes. And then somehow they get through like a portal to back to the quote unquote human world, and then somehow it's followed them there, and you're like, oh, I wonder how this is gonna go, and then the movie ends.
Yeah, pretty much. But
like, oh, no.
and when it comes to that, like when you say the execution, I don't want to say it was the actress's fault. Like I like I actually do like Mila Jovovich. Like she's pretty good.
She's great.
But I kind of feel like
was it Underworld?
No, she's in the Resident Evil movies as Alice.
Resident Evil movies.
She now
And Fifth Element.
Yeah, Fifth Element. That's where I love her from. Is Fifth Element.
That's it.
And Ultraviolet, which is another good one she did. But her husband is the director of all of these movies, and I kind of feel sometimes he's like, we should just kind of milk the video game movies and just throw my wife in it, like because that's what it kind of felt like with Monster Hunter. It didn't really have, it just didn't have any story, and the really interesting part of it for me was Tony Jaa, because I'm a huge martial arts fan and I love Tony Jaa. He's great, and he was actually pretty good in it. But that Monster Hunter was. Whew, that was a really bad one. Really bad. But
I really need to see it.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you'll see what I mean. It's like when you said when he countered my Mario with that's a pretty good one there. That was, oh my gosh. What are the movies that you like, Gray? What game movies?
The Silent Hill movie. I love the Silent Hill movie. I will defend it to the end of my life.
I will too.
Was there just one?
There's two.
Like, oh, right.
I only saw the second one once. And
yeah, same.
I just remember having a couple of quibbles with it, which is why I never revisited it. I don't think it was bad, but I love the first one so much. I should revisit the second one at some point. One of the things that really bugged me was there was a scene with a monster and a whole other character was introduced, and Rain, I don't know if you remember it, but the Heather's running through and meets this other girl, and then there's like this monster crawling around that like turns that girl into a doll.
Oh
Oh,
So it's
yeah,
that's
like,
awful.
yeah, it was like a really cool,
I haven't played
messed up
Silent Hill 3
scene.
just yet.
yeah.
Oh, well, it's not really taken from the game.
Oh, you're fine. I don't mind like talk about games that I've not played.
So
yet.
then in the end, I'm just kidding. Just give all the spoilers.
I do know about like the name change and such. Like, of course, because I
Yeah.
played Dead by Daylight, so
Yeah.
I can really escape that.
Yeah, this was more like inspired by elements of the game for this scene. But it was just like, oh, okay, a new threat is being established. I don't know where this girl came from. They kind of didn't explain that. She was just kind of randomly there.
Yeah.
And then Heather runs away, and then that monster you don't like really see again. And I was like, that's such a weird missed up. Like, it just felt so random. I feel like the process was they had the idea of a cool shot and little scene, but they didn't connect it to anything else, so it just felt shoved in. And I felt like a lot of that movie was just kind of like, this image is cool, but like there are no connectors, so it bugged me. It wasn't bad, it just looked like a first draft.
Yeah, I get what you mean, because I remember my biggest gripe with the second Silent Hill movie was that they just decided to stick with Heather and not go with James. I don't know. That just made more sense to me.
They were just, they skipped from 1 to 3, which, because 1 to 3 is a sequel of 1.
Yeah, pretty
so
much.
So they were just continuing that storyline, because the Silent Hill 2 has, like, no connection.
No,
so
yeah.
that's very much like a standalone.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I know, it was just like I was hoping for. But, like, yeah, and I get what you mean, too, about part 3, because it was, it kind of, I don't know, man. I don't want to spoil it, especially if, like, Baka hasn't seen it, but there's just a part in there.
The change in characters and their relationships?
Yeah, the relationship between one of the characters and...
That was weird.
Yeah.
Hello?
There's a subplot that is added that changes the relationship of certain characters. That was just a very weird choice.
Yeah, a very, very weird choice. Because I remember watching it and that part came up, and I stopped and I'm like, what? Like, yeah, that was my biggest gripe with it. I was like, okay. And yeah, that sucked.
Oh wait, and in the intro, doesn't the fate of the detective change in that movie?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it as spoiler free as possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, that really bugged me, especially after playing the game, because that was before I played the game. I had just like casually watched some playthroughs. But...
Are we talking about the detective from the first game?
No, the detective in the third game.
Oh, so is movie 1 or 2 based on the third game?
The second movie is based on the third game, yeah.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Because the third game is a direct sequel to the first game, so and the first movie is based on the first game. So when they did a sequel to the movie, they kept with that plotline, so they adapted the third game.
Yeah.
With a little Easter egg to Origins in it.
Yes, they did.
I did appreciate.
I did appreciate
that.
Yeah, because I liked Origins, and I was like, but I was hoping they would go somewhere with that, but I don't know. Who knows if Silent Hill will ever come back? And because Silent Hill 1 was actually back then labeled as one of the best adaptations of all time. So
I still say it is.
Yeah,
I still say it was great. I mean, the covering, the same camera angles and all of that. Like,
yes.
That part was great. It
Oh,
had
yeah.
some issues, some wobbles, but overall it was really good.
Yeah, like I think Silent Hill 1, my biggest gripe with it was probably just the introduction of Pyramid Head in the first one. Like
Yeah.
like
Pyramid Head's in them?
Yeah.
Pyramid Head's
Oh,
in
that
the
changed
movie.
everything. Let's watch them.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, from the standpoint of the games, so I'm like conducting with my pencil. I need to put that down.
I do that too.
I am professor. We're in a class. It's like, I understand. So a lot of times, like, for studios, it's really hard to get funding for any film. Coming from a film and movie background, it sucks. It's the worst thing. And like, pitching yourself to studios is very, very hard, especially if you're trying to do something like an adaptation. most movie studios, they're gonna look at it and be like, why would we even do this? Um,
Yeah.
so I understand why they pulled Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2 to put in the movie, because that is something that that could help sell it to a studio and get the funding and get the distribution and all of that. Is just like, oh, but look at this villain character that we have. Like, I can absolutely see someone looking at that and be like, okay, you've sold me, let's greenlight this project. Which I'm totally sure is what happened.
Yeah.
It is frustrating though, because that doesn't fit the lore. But at the same time, if they hadn't done it, like, it probably wouldn't have then been made. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get that, because the reason why is because the connection between Pyramid Head and James. So
Yeah.
that's why it's just like, really, like, because and it's like, oh, what the hell. But overall, I mean, it still was an amazing movie, best game adaptation ever.
Yeah.
Like you said, the camera angles were wonderful. Even they even had the music in Silent Hill
Yeah.
and from the games in the movie. And actually they brought one of I don't know if you know, I'm pretty sure they had one of the Silent Hill 4 music soundtrack in part 1 as well.
Oh.
I think it was the song in Silent Hill 4. I actually like this song. It's I think it's called Lullaby. I think it's called.
Oh, I know this.
Oh, yes, I love that song. I've tried to learn it on piano.
Really? Yeah, it's I loved that song, and I'm don't hold me, but I'm pretty sure it's in part 1. Like, there's the scene where when they're entering into Silent Hill, they were Rose and Sharon were listening to it in the car. I'm pretty sure that was the
I'll
song
have
that was
to
playing.
rewatch
Oh, that's it. It's
Yeah,
a 7-minute song.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
yeah, it's here's a lullaby to close your eyes or something like that. Is that what how
Yeah.
yeah. I actually
Uh,
liked that song.
yeah, it's really messed up,
Yeah.
but it's good.
Oh yeah, it is
Um,
good.
I really admire it, because one of the problems in writing an adaptation, so like years ago when I first got Final Draft, which is like the software that you use to write scripts, which is a great product, love them. I needed a way to learn Final Draft. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I just need something to practice. So, of all things, I was like, oh, I'll write a video game adaptation script. That way I just, like, learned the shortcuts and the keys and how to format scripts. So I adapted Alice Madness Returns.
Yes.
Nice.
It's a full script. But I realized what the problem is with so many video game to movie adaptations, that Silent Hill towed the line. I don't think that they crossed over it. But one of the biggest challenges is so much of so many video games is going and getting items.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
to a viewer watching a movie is boring and gets old. How do you make, oh, you have to go and get this key. No, you have to now go get this piece.
I
and
never
now
even
you have
thought
to go
about
get
that.
this item. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it too until I was doing this thing, and I was like, oh yeah, this would be incredibly boring to watch like this if I'm like genuinely following the game. It's just not interesting. So I think that's also a really big struggle with adaptations, is like, well, how do you tell the story but remove basically most of the gameplay that is fetch quests?
I get that too. I thought about that once before, because I wondered if, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, like, you could turn, like, not the fetch quest, but like maybe there's certain parts of the game, like when it comes to like figuring out like the puzzles in the game, like put them in the movie in a certain plot, like as a like part of the plot somehow, like to
Yeah,
where
but
you
it
like
can only do it so many times.
yeah, like you can only do it so many times, right? Like, and that's what I mean. Like maybe just one of them, and you could like have it as like part of the plot to where like the viewer could actually try to figure it out too, like that type of thing.
That'd
But
be
like,
fun.
yeah, I think that would be cool. But yeah, if you try to put too much of that, like especially like Resident Evil, it's like you got to go get the spade key, and then you got to go get the button for the locker key, and then you get that, and you get shotgun ammo, and then you got to go and get boards for the window. Like, yeah, that would be
Yeah,
too
and
much.
And like doing the Alice game, it's just like, okay, well then at the end of every single world, it's like, no, go talk to this other person, kind of like Mario, just like your princess is in another castle, and so
Right.
like I'm writing this thing, and I'm just like, I would love to see an Alice adaptation, but a lot of this would have to be cut or redone
Yeah.
in order to make it just interesting as a movie. So like, I don't know, it gave me more of an appreciation for the people who attempt these adaptations, because
Yeah.
it's hard to make it interesting
Oh
in
yeah,
this different format.
I get that. I think the only movie I think that, well, I won't say did it exact, but I think the only game that I can think of that kind of put a lot of the items in its movie and like adapted them was, we just talked about this, but was Doom.
I love that
Um,
movie.
Doom. I love Doom, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. You can hate me. I love the Doom movie. Okay.
I'm with you. I'm with
And
you. It's just good action goodness.
it is. And the reason, like, because here's why I liked it, right? Well, I mean, I liked it for a lot of reasons, but here's one of the reasons why I said it adapted some of the stuff. So in that movie, in Doom, they had this thing called chromosome 24. I don't know if you remember that, but they were talking about how chromosome 24 kind of, it could either, like, it can render most people invincible for, you know what I mean? Like they can't get hurt, they can't die,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And in the game of Doom, there is an orb. It's not called chromosome 24, but there's an orb. It's God mode. That's pretty much what that was. It was God mode. So like, I loved how they put that in Doom. Like they made that into a story. Like they actually put the whole arc on it. It was like, I don't know, like ancient, like the aliens or whatever, like the people that were on Mars, they had like an extra chromosome and like all that stuff. They actually made it into a story. And it was just pretty much like taking the God mode from Doom and making it into an arc. Because that's what a lot of people use when you play Doom. You entered God mode, and I think I still remember the codes. So, but like, yeah, I Doom, yeah, hands down, Doom was the stuff. I love that movie. Can't convince me otherwise. But the second Doom movie, that's bleh, that's nothing.
I know I watched it. I don't remember the second movie. I remember loving the first one, but yeah, the second one did not stick in my brain.
First one, especially the part at the end, like well, close to the end where like he goes in the first person and just kicks all those monsters' ass. Like, who doesn't? How can you not love that? That was I thought that was awesome. But
That was fun.
yeah, that was hella fun. I like I said, sometimes it's just nice to have something fun and cool like that. That's, hey. And what ones have you guys not seen though that you want to see, like that's big on your list?
Forbidden Siren.
Yes.
Oh, I
I
don't know
wanna see
that.
it.
Yes.
I wanna see
I
it.
think you've mentioned
Yes.
it before, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And those games are too, like, I have watched people people play it. I don't think I could do it. It gives me such stress.
Me either.
It looks so good. So when I saw that there was like a movie adaptation of it, I'm just like, I need to see this.
I think we're going. Yeah, I think we're going to do that on a movie night.
Yes.
We're have to, because like I said before, that's one of the horror games that I have refused to play because I was so scared of it when I played it back as a young kid. Like I mean, it was this. I actually got Siren probably like right after Fatal Frame, and like
Makes sense.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, this seems cool. It looks, it's Japanese horror. It looks, like an 80s movie. Like, let's try. Like, and yeah, I put the controller down. I ejected that game probably after like maybe a whole half hour, and I never went back. Like,
Oh,
Baka,
and
are you familiar with it?
me?
or
Yeah.
Baka?
Baka, are you familiar
No.
with the Siren? So like,
Oh, my friend.
Rain, I don't know if you want to explain how the enemies work.
Oh
And
yeah.
what happens to your screen.
Oh yes.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Okay, so what the main point of Siren is, everyone in the character can do this thing called sight jacking. And what you do is you close your eyes and you move your analog sticks and you can see through the eyes of anyone in range. So the monsters in the game, the enemies, they kind of like patrol certain areas. Like you don't go out, they're like in the village, like you're supposed to stay in the house after dark, right? If you're out after dark, you can die. So the monsters are patrolling the streets and you have to memorize their patterns. But if they see you, I mean, you're dead. You can't really kill these enemies. So you have to sight jack and you have to actually watch from their point of view, how they're walking and where they're moving through their eyes. So it's like in first person. So, and sometimes they can feel you. I don't know if you remember this part, but they can feel you sight jacking sometimes, and they can find you. So, while you're sight jacking, you can see them get alerted, and you can see them in first person, like through their eyes, running after you.
Oh
before
no!
so yeah, so before you know it, you see your body, you see them looking at you. Like what's that saying? I see you, see me looking at you, that type of thing. Like yeah,
Yeah, it's like, isn't it like split screen? So it's like your POV and their POV.
Oh, I
yeah. I
hate
think
that.
part two. I
Oh
think yeah,
no!
yeah. I think
Oh
the second
god!
one is yeah. It does. It's insanely crazy, and it's fun because you sometimes have multiple characters you have to control, and yeah, and that's why I won't play it, because you have to sneak around, because you can only probably disable, like you can smack the enemy with like a stick or something, and like it'll disable them for maybe like about a minute, but then they'll get back up. So like you don't necessarily kill them. Yeah, that game is horrifying.
Siren is it's called, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
Siren
Siren
and
or
Blood Curse?
Forbidden Siren.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Siren Blood Curse. I think it's like depending on where it was released. So
Yeah.
it had a couple of
I
different
see.
names.
I think it
Kind of
just
like Resident Evil Biohazard
yeah.
situation.
I think the main
They
thing
had a
people
different
just
name.
mainly call it Forbidden Siren, because I guess that's the most popular one, but like there's 3 of them if I remember. I know there's even one that came out on PS3 that I never tried. I wish I could have, because it doesn't look like I would be surprised if that actually got a port somewhere. But
I want
yeah.
to try to find one. I have a PS3.
I have
Do
a
you?
PS3.
I
Yeah.
need to get a PS3 back, just for that. I want to go back and try to play Siren. I said I might do it on stream one day, but I'm still horrified to try.
You should try. Yeah, I've always been, I'm a Sony fan, so I have
Yeah,
PS2,
same.
3, and 4. Well, actually, the 4 is my roommate's. I should
Yeah.
not take credit. And then various Nintendo handhelds.
Yeah, I have all systems. I try to. I mean, I've always been a Sony dude, but I don't know. I'm going to stop doing that, just because I mean all the games come out mostly for the same systems anyway. But
Sure.
Siren. I want to watch that movie, and I will find that, and we will watch that movie and be horrified together. As long as it's, it makes me wonder how they're going to do it, because the monsters in the game were, they were just.
I wonder if they do the sight jacking.
I
wonder
wonder
if there's like a split screen shot, because that was like so. Like just watching people play it, I would just be trying to focus on like the character's POV, but then it's so distracting to then also see the enemy's POV. I'm just like wanting to look of just like, are they seeing me? Do they see me? Do I need to move? So like I feel like that just adds so much tension.
Yeah.
With, like that, because it's so kind of distracting. Like
Yeah. Same. Yeah, I can only imagine. We have to get Baka to play that too.
Oh god!
You can be our guinea pig.
Baka.
You can be our guinea pig.
Enjoy.
I would. I'd at least give it a go.
Yeah, because it is. I mean, it is a good game, but it's definitely terrifying. But yeah, I'll make a note of that. We'll watch the movie.
For me, there's a couple. I of course still need to watch the Cuphead series, but I don't have Netflix, so
Yes.
I just have to wait for a friend to be like, "Do you want to watch Cuphead?" And I'll be like, "Yeah."
I can set that up.
But,
We can do a viewing thing. I have Netflix. We can do a watch party.
There you go.
Sure.
I want to see it.
I do too. I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know if it's been like brought over to like America or UK, but I know at least other in one of the Asian countries, the Detention series was put on Netflix, and I played that game sometime last year, and it was because I brought in Friday as a horror day on stream, because I was like, there's so many horror games that I really want to play, but I won't play them alone. Little did I know, chat bullies me regardless.
Aww.
But I
you.
brought in Friday, and Detention was, if not the first, one of the first games that I played during the Friday streams, and then I think it was afterwards when I'd finished, and I was just like, what just happened? Then I like looked it up, and I saw that there was like a movie trailer for it. I was just like, oh my god, this is great, and I still haven't went and looked.
It's so good. It's so good. If you don't have access to that, I would happily rewatch it, because I watched it and then played the game, and I would love to like go watch it again, because that's an amazing game and an amazing adaptation. Like, so
I'll have
good.
to watch it. I haven't watched it either. Yeah.
Watching
have you
party,
played?
guys. We have so much stuff to do as a watching
We
party
do.
now. I'm
We do.
so pumped.
To anybody
Yeah.
listening, if you wanna be a part of these watch parties, feel free to join our Discord.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Link included below.
Yeah, we have great movie nights. So
We do.
especially
I
the
believe.
especially the horror.
I think the last one
Oh, yeah.
was The Invisible Man, the new one.
Yeah, I didn't expect to
Oh.
like it as much as I did. But
I
I love The
did.
Invisible Man.
Elizabeth Moss, I believe her name is.
Yes.
I love her. She's she's in. Did you guys watch Us?
Us. Oh yeah, I've seen Us. Yes.
Yes. Oh,
She's
yeah.
in that, and she's in The Handmaid's Tale. And The Handmaid's Tale is the one that I watched first. And this is it's very much like Anguish, the series. But like I seen her character in that being like kind of a mix of like F the patriarchy, but also, oh my god, I'm in a horrible situation. So it's like a mix of depression but hope, which is like a big thing for her book character. Is like she does these like little things to just try to like still maintain her humanity and her hope, which I think is very lovely when they bring that over to shows and they just kind of maintain that. But watching her in that, and then watching her in Us, where she's essentially like an upper middle class, very snooty woman, I'm just like, this is such a change. I love you.
I love seeing actors like play roles completely opposite
Oh,
from
yeah.
other roles that they play. Like,
Yes.
it's so fun.
Oh, it's so fun. I love seeing stuff like that. And then Invisible Man, Baka, but you were in the Discord then when we
I was, yeah.
Were you watched it with us,
yeah.
right?
I don't think I watched it with you. I think I watched some of it.
Oh, okay. Because I know Gray, you were there when we watched Invisible
Yes.
Man, and
Yeah.
but going back to that's actually one of my favorite like movies of that year when it came out.
Oh, really?
And
Wait, what year was that?
it was 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
Wait, is that when Suspiria came out? That was like the last movie I saw in theaters.
I think Suspiria was last year, question mark? Let me check.
No, it was before pandemic because I
Was it?
saw it in theaters
Oh.
alone.
2018? It was
Hey, I used to do it all the
2018.
time.
2018. It's
Oh,
not.
wow.
4 years.
Wow.
What is time?
I-
I don't remember.
Yeah,
what
Anyway,
is time?
Suspiria, both versions are amazing.
Yes,
Just
the
shout out to
original-
Suspiria.
The original's so good, but so weird. It's like...
Yeah, it is.
I will say,
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Indigo Nino that did it, or was he the new
Dario
one?
Argento.
Dario Argento, I think Nico was the newest one.
Yes,
Dario
yes.
Argento, oh my god. Him and his wife did an amazing job on that movie. Because it's so weird, it's so colorful. And like, I
Yeah,
just
that's
love
what I
that it's
love.
essentially like
Yeah.
everyone, I believe, in the production, they were just like, speak your native language, whatever language you're comfortable with, and then we'll overdub it. And I was just like,
He does
oh my
that in
god,
all
I
of
love
his
that.
films.
He does?
I've watched most of Dario Argento's movies. Yeah, that's a thing that he does because he's just like, no, he wants the actors to be more comfortable, so they just like give their lines in their language, and then they are very poorly dubbed over, and it's great.
But like, I have been a fan of dubbed anime for a long time. I can deal with overdubbed movies. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
I subs.
See-
Well, there
Oh,
were
yeah.
a couple of dubs that are good. There were a couple that I watched growing up, like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Furikuri. Like those were actually good dubs.
I
Fullmetal
have
Alchemist,
mixed
too.
opinions on Cowboy Bebop, and I know this is gonna come to a lot of hate, but it's not Cowboy the anime, it's the composer. So I have very mixed opinions.
Oh no, that is
Yeah.
totally fair. I think we talked about that
Possibly.
one time.
The
Because that's Yoko Kano, right?
yeah, the allegations of plagiarism, where like you guys know me, I am very much only exclusively a musician. So it's one of those things where it's like you can play these instruments and you can do these things. Like you have the skills to go do your own thing. You don't need to plagiarize.
Oh,
Right.
I agree. Yeah, I had never known that until we were talking about it one day, and I was really sad because I liked her stuff. Wait, was it also Yuji Kariura or just Yoko Kano?
I can
Because
check.
I remember liking both of those composers, and then I was sad but maybe that was just Yoko Kanno.
It reminds me of something that happened with like Kojima.
Apparently, also Herbie Hancock.
With wow, Herbie Hancock, really?
Yeah, I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. Herbie Hancock
Wow.
is amazing.
Yeah, Herbie Hancock. I'm surprised you know about Herbie Hancock. That's funny.
Oh, so this actually comes by during my degree. It was mandatory that we took instrument tuition, which like and I don't make this very much known because I just don't really talk about it. But I'm self-taught. I'm a self-taught musician, and when I went into university, they were just like, instrument tuition, you have to do it, and I was just like, oh god, and I
Wow.
quickly switched over to bass. And, the bass tutor, amazing. I wish he was more social than he is because he's such a good musician, and I wish I would just go and like see him somewhere just kicking about like New Orleans or something because that would be so funny. But he was very much like here is like a standardized like list of bassists and musicians that you should know and get like at least somewhat familiar with their repertoire. And like, of course, like Herbie Hancock was in there,
Oh
Jaco
wow.
Pastorius in there, because every bassist has to know Jaco.
Yeah.
Um, if you haven't, you have to go and listen to Weather Report, his band, because it's like jazz fusion,
Mhm.
very interesting. Um, very I guess technical when you put Jaco in that, because he's just insane and absolutely insane, and he played on like a fretless bass as well, which makes it just hotter.
Yeah. That's awesome. I don't know. I haven't heard Herbie Hancock in like forever. I remember when I was a kid, when he had these music videos out, my grandmother used to be like, come here and listen to this. Like, she loved Herbie
I
Hancock
love
too.
that.
So
I love that so
Aw.
much.
yeah, it was cool. It just threw me off. I heard Herbie Hancock. I'm like, whoa, that's like that. Just unlocked a memory that I forgot that I had. Like,
See,
Core memory.
yeah, like it's like wow. I want to talk about another one of my. I'll ask a question. What? Because we already said what is the one of your favorite game to movie adaptations, but my most favorite though is I talked about this before. It's an animated one, and it was the Street Fighter 2 animated movie.
yes.
Um, the movie, it's incredible. I don't know why I love. I think it was because this movie, Street Fighter movie, was actually more mature. Like most of the time, Street Fighter never puts like blood and gore in their movies, so or in their games. Sorry, but and movies too, I guess. But like this one, it was more mature. It had like blood and a lot of bit of more mature themes in it. Like it was pretty, but it was insane. The like the fighting and the story of it. I love Street Fighter 2, the anime movie. I recommend to see it if that's something you would be into. But I mean, it's iconic. I love that movie. I actually just watched that movie probably within the beginning of the year because I saw a video about it on Facebook, and I was like, I missed that movie. I need to watch that again. But
Aw.
Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, is great, and the Street Fighter live action movie, I also liked too. No matter what anyone says, you can hate me.
I liked
I don't
it.
care.
I thought that was a fun one.
Yeah, I loved it.
Didn't it have a live action sequel as well?
Yeah, and that one I didn't enjoy,
Yeah.
but it was okay. It was
Yeah.
The Legend of Chun-Li. Yeah.
Yeah, well, didn't they like also couldn't get like half the cast back or something? Like I just remember
Yeah.
things that they ended like it. The first movie ends with one shot, and then the second movie starts with the same shot, but like so
Oh,
much different.
Yeah, it was because the original one, of course, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who was my favorite when I was growing up, was Guile.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, he was awesome. And then Ming Na Wen, who I'm absolutely been in love with since a kid, ever since she played Chun-Li. Like
Fair.
she was in it. And then Kylie Minogue, interesting choice for Cammy, but
Yeah.
so, like but the movie was great. I loved the first Street Fighter movie. That was I used to watch that like when I for Christmas I got a VCR player for Christmas one day and like one year, and I got Street Fighter the movie on VHS, and I watched it probably like every day, like multiple times a day. Like I knew that movie word for word, scene for scene. Like yeah, that was a great one. I think it was probably another one of my biggest favorites was Street Fighter the movie too. Like that was pretty fun. But yeah, the sequel, Legend of Chun-Li, Yeah, we don't talk about that one. I didn't
Fair.
enjoy.
Fair.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that one at all. But I don't know. What other movies were your favorites?
Uh, so this one might get some hate from viewers.
Uh oh.
Uh, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's.
Yes!
I love Mortal Kombat.
It's so bad, but it's
It's
so
so
good.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's
bad,
like-
but it's good.
It's like so bad that it's 180 around to being so good.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
like. I'm
yeah, it
sure
was
there was a
definitely-
new Mortal Kombat movie that was like.
It was okay. It wasn't that bad, but yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Because I remember
loved-
hyping, but like I never was. This is this is a trend with me, is that I will hype about something so much, and then when it comes out, I will completely forget about it.
Yeah,
I've done that.
yeah, I have too. And I mean, it's okay. Like I said, that Mortal Kombat movie was awesome. I loved it as a kid, and when it came out, I'm like, Mortal freaking Kombat, you know. But now that I look at it, yeah, it was pretty bad.
I remember my favorite part was when the two people are fighting on the beach in this contest that is to the death, and they are having a conversation, and then they just walk away.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, was this not? Did the rules just not apply to this fight? Like,
Yeah.
What?
No.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I remember that exact part too. Like, oh, I thought they were supposed to kill each other. But I guess not. Yeah, that was funny. And it's weird because that first one, as hyped as that movie was, they had like some of the fatalities in there, but it wasn't bloody or gory. Like it was just kind of weird how they did it, kind of cheesy. But like the new one actually has like the fatalities, like it's bloody, gory, nasty. That's the reason why people loved it so much. The new one. But yeah, I enjoyed the Mortal Kombat movie. You're not alone, so if they want to hate, they can hate us together. Dang it, they can hate us both.
I will say, we found this out just before recording. I am a big Bayonetta fan. We found out that there is in fact an animated Bayonetta movie, and I have
yeah.
to find it, and I have to watch it, and then I have to
Yes,
cry
yes.
about it afterwards.
Oh yeah, we're gonna watch
It's
that.
like, it's the sequence. Like, I have to find it, watch it, and then cry about it.
Yes.
I have not played the Bayonetta games, but
What?
kind of tying back into I just haven't. But kind of tying back into earlier, my impression is that is how you write a sexy female protagonist well,
Yeah.
Yes.
without it being like over the top or like exploitive or anything.
Yeah.
That's my impression. I could be wrong.
I
But-
will say,
I would agree.
like, some of her moves, like, very much like sexualized, but
Well,
she
but
kind
doesn't
of
it like actually fit her personality?
Yes. yes,
Okay.
like she's very much a character that is like, I think she's very self-aware, where she is very flirtatious and is very self-confident, and
Right.
me as like I was maybe 14 when I played the first game. I was like, oh, positive female role model.
Yeah, like one who's
Hello.
like sexual but like owns it, not
Yeah.
the
Also,
an innocent high school girl that you just panty shot.
yeah.
Right.
Also, she's she's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
dual gun wielder. Like, that's so cool.
And plus,
Heck yeah.
and plus, it's kind of some of the stuff that she does, like it suggests, but it covers up the stuff, like her, you know what I mean? It doesn't like try to like the part where she summons the what is that? The big witch, the I can't remember the giant thing. I
Yeah.
haven't played a Bayonetta game in forever, but like you know, because her hair is her suit, right? If I remember, and it like comes off sometimes, and it,
Yes.
like, you know, it's the way they do it that's actually pretty cool. How they do it, they just, you know what I mean. There's no like, oh, let's try to sneak a peek thing. Like, it's just cool how they do it. I enjoy Bayonetta's character because of that. She is like this confident.
I do like that the enemies are very like reminiscent of like biblically accurate angels. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but that just it makes me laugh now, and it made me laugh then, because like, of course, like a lot of these are based on like actual biblical creatures, but it just makes me laugh.
Yeah. Well,
But
No, I love
I
stuff like that.
did
I love
pull
like
up the trailer.
comics that.
There's
yeah.
comics.
No, no. Just comics like that poke fun and point out like original angels versus like the versions that so many people painted.
Yeah.
It's just very I am also entertained by biblically accurate angels.
Yeah, I laugh at that too. And speaking of which, have you yet to see the Bayonetta versus Dark Knight Dante thing yet?
No.
Okay,
You
what are you doing?
did say something about it ages ago, and it completely left my mind.
You have to watch it. Yeah, it was, who does those series? It was Screw Attack? No, not Screw Attack. It was they do the death battles.
The death match? Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
And they did a Dante versus Bayonetta. That's actually one of my favorite ones besides Sam Fisher versus Solid Snake. But,
I think there was one between Peach and Zelda.
Yeah.
At least one of them knows how to wear a shirt.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna lie. I like both of them, but I am always team. I love Dante, dude. I don't know why. It's not the shirtless thing. I just he's I don't know. He's funny like in this really cheesy way.
Is it like OG Dante, or is it like DMC5? DMC5.
It's OG Dante, not DMC5 Dante. No. Yeah, the OG Dante. Yeah.
Okay.
I think this one is the.
Behind him.
Yeah, I think this Dante, the one they put, the one they put in the videos, the one with the shirt. But
I have a serious problem with people who don't wear shirts. I just can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wear a shirt. Just wear a shirt.
Well,
and that man cannot wear a shirt, so I just can't get behind Dante.
I sometimes don't wear one when I go swimming.
That's different. That's different.
No, I get what you mean. I get it.
Just in general, wear a shirt.
When I get what you mean. The one where he wasn't wearing a shirt was, I think, DMC 3, I believe, right? Or Dante's Awakening, if I believe. Yeah, this one is the OG Dante with a shirt or whatever it was he was wearing. With a shirt.
Okay, good. That I can get behind that.
But
I will say, the Devil May Cry anime, great.
Oh,
it's
beautiful.
So good. It deserves more.
I think I've seen it.
There was only one season or something.
I didn't even know there was one until Netflix came out. Like when Netflix started getting like the streaming service, I didn't know there was one, and I was just strolling through it back then, and I was like,
it on
"What?"
Netflix?
It was back in the day. Like I'm talking about like way back in the day. Like when Netflix first like started streaming services. Yeah.
So I only knew about the anime because like. Back in the day, I was very much like let's go and have a look what merch these animes that I watch or games I play, like all things that I liked. Let's go have a look on eBay, and I was broke. Okay, shut up. And I still broke.
I don't judge. I'm also broke.
But
we're all broke, bro.
eBay's the best friend.
And it's like you'd like Google stuff like Devil May Cry merch, and that's how I found out that there was an anime. So I had the DVD of it.
Oh man,
I love that.
Yeah, DMC. I loved it. I love the anime. It is very beautiful. He's right, and I didn't. Yeah, that's one I think. Yeah, that would be one we'd have to watch. Don't worry, he keeps his shirt on though. I promise.
Good.
I love that. Like it was in the first episode that he's like, I think he has to babysit this little girl at some point. And, like, I don't remember who it was, but somebody was like, oh, you have, like, a show to get to or something. And it's like, he's on the train with this, like, guitar case. And then, of course, like, as Devil May Cry does, like, shit happens. And then, like, he just pulls his sword out of this guitar case. And I'm just like, oh, hello. You got me, sir. Didn't expect it.
Oh my god, that reminds me of an anime that I watched one time that I'm blanking on the name, but it was absolutely heartbreaking, but not related to video games, so never mind.
I was gonna say I can name you a lot of heartbreaking animes.
Oh man.
Well, sorry, this game bugged me that I can't remember what it's called. It had great music. It was super. It's the one where it's all the little girls who are trained to be assassins.
Angel Beats?
Oh, wait, what?
Wait, what name did you say?
Angel Beats?
No.
Trained to be
Italian. It had an Italian sound, or that may have been the soundtrack. Oh god.
Well, the guitar part.
I was just saying, my next option would have been Assassination Classroom.
No. It was like super depressing. Gunslinger Girl.
Oh, right.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's really good. They're were some parts. There's one part in particular, if anyone has seen that show, that with the new friend. But yeah, sorry. That just reminded me of that because they carry around like violin and instrument cases that are full of guns.
When yeah, that reminds me of an actual movie, but I mean, it doesn't relate to video games. But one of my favorite movies, which was Desperado. So I don't know if you've seen that, but Antonio Banderas is like one of his first movies. He has like a guitar case full of guns, and it can also like shoot rockets out of it. It's really ridiculous, but it was a really good movie.
That's like Furikuri with Haruko and her bass, but it's also a gun. And so, like, I love the scene where she was like had been disguised in the barber shop, and she's like, all the enemies are diving over her, and so she's sliding while she's shooting up. Oh, sorry,
wow.
I love that show. It was really
That sounds kind of cool. We'll have to watch all
minus
these.
the like pedophilic
things. to deviate from that, to circle back, I found the movie trailer for the Bayonetta movie. And
nice.
We have to watch this together because I
Yes.
need emotional support.
We got you.
There you go. You should be able to see it just now.
All right.
For all of you watching, we'll put it down below.
Oh yes.
I am the way into the city of woe. I am the way to a forsaken people. I am the way
Hello?
to eternal sorrow. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
It looks badass already.
Tonight you promised me ready.
Yeah, it said Afro Samurai people? Like,
Yeah.
The Elfin Knight. Not a
Oh my
bad
God!
name, if I say so myself.
It's crazy how her heels are guns.
It's so good.
I love it.
All right, let's dance, baby.
That 90s video game soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yup.
Lovely. I also just realized a kind of cool dynamic between her and Dante as well just now.
Jean's in it.
Huh?
Jean's in it.
Yeah. Because you like Bayonetta says, what did she say? Let's dance, baby.
Don't interrupt a man and his music.
I love him.
Fun's just getting started.
It's like
That is awesome.
Tony Todd could have voiced him, and I would have been so happy.
Oh God.
Who does
Tony
voice him,
Todd.
actually?
Tony Todd. He's
I
great.
forgot what he's called.
But no, I was just saying because when she said "Let's dance, baby," it just kind of reminds me of what Dante says. 'Cause remember his thing was "Let's rock, baby." I remember that for the first one, or they tried to use that as a slogan for him. I think, but I don't think it really worked out.
Just
But
makes me think of that Batman movie where every line was they thought was like a home run one-liner.
you talking about why so
And they
serious?
No, I'm talking about like the old like Batman and
Oh.
Robin where
Oh
it
my
was,
God.
Mr. Freeze.
Oh,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh wait, are we talking about the live action?
yeah.
Oh, the Uma Thurman one. Oh my God. So there was a video on YouTube a while back. I don't think it's there anymore. But it was essentially like 50 cringy lines in that movie. And like, Uma Thurman, and I love her. But God, the
Freeze
way
in
that she
hell,
was...
Batman.
They thought,
As I
they
told
thought
Lady
that it was gonna
Freeze when
be-
I pulled her plug, this is a one-woman show.
Those are saying, like they thought that they were gonna have the hottest thing. They had all the merch lined up.
And they did.
Literally, it was a script
Yeah.
of what they thought were gonna be killer one-liners. No.
Well, no. The best one, in my point of view, if it had to be from like the Batman movie, it'd be the one where Jim Carrey played the Riddler because everybody was saying that
Batman
one.
Forever?
Yeah.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Tell me that.
Who's afraid of the big black bat? That was like
That's not.
So good.
that was good. Yeah, that was the Batman
Forever?
Forever, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jim Carrey played the Riddler.
Yeah. He was a
Yeah.
great cast.
He was perfect as a Riddler, especially for the character the Riddler was supposed to be. Like that was great. I actually love the Batman movies. Now, yeah, the one with Mr. Freeze, that one was kind of, ooh,
It
yeah.
was so funny.
Yeah, it was funny, especially the bat suit had nipples. I mean, come on. Like,
You should never have that. Don't ever have that.
Oh my
Right.
god, I just thought of another one. So like, I don't know if I don't know how familiar you are with the Batman and Robin movie, but like, so Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman, like, of course, the character of Poison Ivy, like, flowers, nature, vines. So there's this scene towards the end where like Robin has essentially went to court Poison Ivy, and Batman turns up because he's like, no, actually, and then like Robin kind of like dupes her and puts on quote unquote rubber lips.
yeah.
Like she gets very upset about that, and then like Batman turns up and she's like, my vines have a crush on you. I'm just like,
Oh, yes, I remember that part.
God, I need to watch it again.
So
Yeah,
good,
that'd be
so
great.
bad.
We'll watch that for sure.
Heck yeah.
I wonder, I need to know how much did they make from that?
Oh God, I can
Oh,
only
I'm sure it
imagine.
tanked.
Oh yeah,
Or maybe it didn't. 'Cause,
well,
I mean, now
George-
it's great.
Well, yeah, George Clooney like done interviews and he said he's pretty sure he killed the Batman movies.
Oh.
Like, he
So-
was pretty sure about it.
So their
Aw.
budget was 125 to 160 million, and they made 238 million worldwide.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So
okay.
like, it didn't bomb
good
that
job.
much, but
But
God.
didn't make. Yeah, geez.
for like a superhero movie, like when you think about superhero movies,
Right.
like they.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but-
this was
they
also
made
back in the
bank.
day before superhero movies
Yeah.
were like,
Oh,
a
this
big
yeah,
thing.
this
For sure.
I just saw
Yeah.
this was released in 1997.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because really quick,
Is that older than you?
By a few months, actually, yes. Because it came out
Oh,
in June.
man.
I am a September baby.
you young
I am
whippersnapper.
too.
Hey,
Aren't we? Our birthdays are close to each other, right? Yes. No.
I'm the 6th.
Oh, I'm 26th.
With 20
Wow.
days.
I'm an
Nice.
I'm an
I'm
April
also
baby.
really late. I think I was like 3 weeks late,
Oh.
Wow.
and a 23-hour labor that still
Oh.
ended in C-section.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
Mom. I did not want to come
No,
out.
come on.
Right.
Actually, it's warm, you know? I'm comfy.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, I mean, have you seen The World? Do you blame me?
Right.
In the 90s?
I have one of the cool but not cool birthdays. So my birthday is 420. So
Okay,
Yeah.
but like,
Hitler?
hear me out.
exactly. That's why I said it's cool but not cool.
But like, hear me out here. So in the UK, we put ours as like date month year. So in
Yes,
that
as
sense,
you should.
I am
Yeah.
6'9".
Oh wow.
So I'm
Hot.
6th of September.
There you go.
And I think that's fucking funny to me.
Oh man. I do have another one. Even though I know Baka had countered me with the Monster Hunter movie, which is pretty bad. But what was the worst video game movie you have ever seen?
Oh god.
If you die in the game, you die for real. No, I'm kidding.
Wait.
I
Oh, wait,
watched
what
that
is
movie.
that?
I actually liked it. It's not a video game adaptation. It's just themed around video games.
Oh!
Frankie Muniz was in it though, and Frankie Muniz did a really good job.
Oh yeah, you're talking about
He saved that movie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh God.
I don't remember the name.
What?
'Cause I
Explain.
I
Explain me
remember-
the plot.
The only reason why I remember it is because they mentioned Fatal Frame in the movie, and that's the only reason
Oh,
why I remember
yeah.
that movie.
I mean, the plot is the iconic line of "If you die in the game, you die for real." So
Yeah.
Are we
these people who
talking
play
about
video
the
games-
D&D game, the Christian D&D?
No.
No.
No. This is I'm gonna have to find it.
Yeah, I'm
Frankie
looking.
Muniz.
Gosh, what was it?
Because
called?
if we're gonna go there, like, yeah, definitely. I think it was. Oh God, was it
Stay
called Dark
Alive.
Dungeons?
That's what it's called.
What was it called?
Stay Alive
Yes.
Oh,
from 2006.
Yeah, that's
it was
it.
not. It's honestly. I mean, it was a pretty bad movie, except
Yeah.
for Frankie Muniz. He kept it from being a total train wreck.
Yeah, he did that. Yeah, gosh, I remember. Yeah, like I said, the only reason I remember that movie is because they mentioned Fatal Frame, and you know, and that was like because I remember watching them like Fatal Frame. Like I used to get excited when people would mention the games I love because Fatal Frame was not really known like that back then. But
yeah, Fatal Frame does not get the recognition that it deserves.
it really doesn't.
It's such like it should really be up there with Silent Hill and Resident Evil, and it just
it should.
isn't.
I
don't know why not. It also has a bunch of installments, and like it's really good.
I know.
It's really good. Everyone, if you've not played Fatal Frame, go
Do
play
so.
Fatal Frame.
Yes. Endorsed by Rain and Gray. It's in
Yes.
Fatal Frame. worst video game movie, I would have to say for me, there's quite a few, and Monster Hunter's up there with them, like we said earlier. But I would probably have to say I watched it only once, so I don't remember all of it. But it was Tekken Part 2.
I was gonna think Tekken because I was like,
So
Tekken
Tekken
I
is
haven't seen that yet.
Tekken is bad, but the reason why Tekken 2 is so horrible is because it's not a Tekken movie. So I don't remember all of this, but the reason why it's called Tekken 2, whatever the bad guy's name in the Tekken game was, Jin Kazuya or whatever, Kazuya's Revenge is what it's called, right? So they wanted a Tekken 2 movie, but they were like, we don't have the budget for it or whatever. And there was this one movie that came out, and it was a completely different movie. Everyone in the movie has completely different names. And so they just removed the name of that movie and just took Tekken 2 on it. And it's not even a Tekken movie, like game related at all. It's just this guy going around beating up people. I can't remember the name of the guy in the movie. I only seen it once, like halfway through, but it was so horrible. And they just decided, oh well, we need to just have a Tekken 2 movie, so they just slapped Tekken on it. It has nothing to do with the movies, the first movie, or even the game. It was really bad. That's the most horrible one I've seen. That and Hitman Agent 47.
I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that either.
I just remembered because I was scrolling through the list of like, which ones exist that I could choose as a least favorite, and I completely forgot that this movie existed, and I saw it in theaters with like video game friends of mine. Jake Gyllenhaal is the Prince of Persia.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
I forgot. I blocked that from my memory because I saw that and was like, "Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That happened."
That did happen. Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh.
Like
Prince
there
of
were
Persia.
parts of the production that like weren't bad, but like that shouldn't have happened.
I forgot about that, man, because Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, it came out and everyone's on that hype, so they're like, yeah. Wow, Prince of Persia.
More white actors playing roles they shouldn't.
right.
Oh.
Yeah, Prince of Persia was bad. I didn't. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. I got another one too, and this was it was more recent. I want to say 2015 or 14. The Need for Speed movie.
Oh.
I don't think I ever saw it. Wait, did I see it?
So horrible.
God.
It was bad. It was just as bad as Fast and Furious. It's just.
But we're family.
Yeah, right.
We're all family.
Oh my god, it's just when I remember when they announced the Need for Speed movie, and I'm like, how do you make a movie based on Need for Speed? Like it's just a racing game.
Yeah, it's racing.
Yeah, but it wasn't even Need for Speed the movie. If I remember, it wasn't even really based on. Well, there was different needs. It was based on Need for Speed Most Wanted, because where you get chased by the cops. So that's where they built the story from. But it was really bad. I remember it was like somebody killed his wife or something like that. So he decides to get in the car and just race all over the place and have cops chasing him. It was bad.
Right.
I would say
like a constructive therapeutic reaction.
Right. So I mean, it's something we should definitely watch just to laugh at on movie night for sure. But it's a bad one. Yeah, Need for Speed's another pretty. Oh gosh. And the Tekken 2, I say we don't watch because it's boring. But it's
fair.
Yeah.
One entry from the Tekken series is enough.
Yeah, for sure. And that one was bad enough.
I want to to see the Alone in the Dark. I don't think I knew that
Oh,
one was adapted.
yes. So Alone in the Dark, I've seen. I don't remember all of it, but I remember it being as bad as the game.
Oh no.
That's all I remember. But no, I don't really remember too much about Alone in the Dark. And we will make a list and watch like all of these. One that I haven't seen though is what's the one that was based off the MMO? Warcraft?
Warcraft?
Yeah, World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I haven't.
I
Warcraft's
heard
got a
mixed
movie.
things about Warcraft.
I have too. I haven't seen it. I wouldn't mind trying to. I mean, I've actually never played Warcraft, so
Oh, really?
It's fun.
Yeah, I never
I
have.
played for a bit during Mr. Pandaria.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was never an MMO guy when World of Warcraft came out, right? So I was like, okay, whatever, like, you know. But then when I started getting into MMOs, I started playing a lot of free ones. But then Final Fantasy 14 just popped out at me because, like I said, I'm a Final Fantasy nerd, so why not? And then it just happened like that. But I planned to play WoW at one point. But I still want to see the movie because I heard some mixed things about it. But you know, the CG in it looked kind of pretty. I mean, looked pretty dope. So I wouldn't mind checking it out as long as it's, you know, at least decent.
Yeah.
And another
Wait,
one.
Baka, what was... Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
What's up?
Baka, what was your pick for worst?
I would honestly probably say the Monster Hunter movie.
Yeah.
Fair.
However, like, not necessarily directly from a video game, but more so like, I guess a franchise, would you say? But it was a Dark Dungeons, where it was the like the Christians trying to be like, D&D is bad, and here's a movie about it. But the movie is also based on like a comic book by somebody who was also like, D&D is bad, and you will die. And it's like,
scary.
it's so funny.
Oh yeah.
I watched somebody like do like a coverage of it, and it's like these college kids, these two like good Christian girls that are going to college. They're living in the dorms because college, and like they're getting like a tour by whoever this guy is, and like these edgy kids start like walking down the hallway, and she's like, "Who is that?" And he's like, "You don't want to know." Those are the RPGers. Or something. And I was just like, and like
Oh,
they
man.
go to like imagine us, the cool kids with the leather jackets and the
Oh, wow.
the intimidating
not?
posture. No, I was.
Do you not go around wearing... I mean, my leather jacket's in the other room,
No,
but like...
I was a bad
Oh, wow.
hoodie kid, but also we had a school uniform. So, and then in college, I was a I was a flannel kid. I leaned into that like gay college aesthetic. But God, so eventually these girls, they go to this party because it's college, and like just out of nowhere, just a campaign starts. Just a D&D campaign starts.
Yeah, because that's how it works. Definitely doesn't require a ton of planning or building a character first.
And it's like this woman who is absolutely definitely college age, like it just goes out of nowhere. She's your DM, and like it's so funny because they just like the table cleared. This is a campaign now, and like she's just like, "Are you in?" Essentially, and these girls, it's like they're peer pressured into playing D&D, and like then like they get super obsessed with it to a point where like their grades are dropping and such, and then like then later on this woman is just like, okay, it's time for you to start like live action role play. And I was like,
Yes!
okay, we're doing this in this movie.
Wow, that's
Let's
great.
go LARPing!
Yeah,
I actually really want to go LARPing.
It would be
I wouldn't
funny.
mind doing
That'd be
that too.
very
That does look fun.
And God, so eventually, like one of the girls' characters dies because it's D&D, and she gets like super duper depressed, and like it does, and then like the other girl, like of course is like super sad that her friend is gone, and like won't be in these sessions anymore was like the big thing, and like, and then
Selfish.
and then it turns out like later on that like they keep playing and such because they're like trying to appease this like elder god that I believe is actually Cthulhu in the movies, in the movie, and I'm like, huh. So this college essentially propaganda movie about how D&D is awful, terrible. Don't let your kids play D&D. Like, is actually a Lovecraftian movie? Question mark.
Yeah, I feel like they
Wow.
mixed up their message there a little bit.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I
The,
don't
like satanic panic into
God, I have to see
Yeah.
this. Like,
Lovecraftian horror. Like what?
it's so much.
I would have to see this. Like, wow.
Oh,
And-
and
and-
not a video game movie, but just a movie that I think
Yeah.
anybody who's like remotely interested in, I would say like film production, or being an actor, watch it.
Yes?
It's Birdemic, Shark and Terror.
Oh my god, no! That needs to be burned! That needs to be destroyed!
It's so bad.
No!
It's like most of the movie leading up to like the actual like attack of the birds. Like Alfred Hitchcock could never. Like
Birdemic, Shock and Terror. Okay, so we were talking before we started recording. There's a friend of mine who does bad movie marathons. And normally, they're very funny entries. Like, oh, this is terrible, but like, it's still fun. Like The Room.
Oh, yeah.
The Room looks Oscar-worthy in comparison to Birdemic. It was so bad that all of us got angry.
oh my god.
Like, we were throwing things at the screen. Like, we were so mad at just how incompetent everyone was. And, like, how it is painful.
I remember you
It's-
telling me about this movie.
It's the worst movie ever made, and not in a fun way. It's not what, like, personally, I'm just like, because I love a good bad movie, but that one was, like, literally making my blood boil. It was so bad.
Oh,
Rain.
man.
I have a question for you. So,
Yes.
in a scenario that you yourself find yourself being attacked by a swarm of birds, just a scenario. What would you use to fight back? Option A, your fists. Option B, maybe some sticks, something around you, like I don't know.
Like a hanger?
Option C, clothing hangers. Which one would you pick?
Oh, wow.
I'd pick option D of get into the car that they
Yeah.
stand next to for 5 whole minutes as they're casually batting at the birds with coat hangers.
I agree with that, but I was going to say I agree with that, or I was going to say I'll go straight up Jason in Manhattan fist style.
Jason Takes Manhattan. It's such a bad movie, but I will watch it every single time.
And the only
It's like-
reason why that
So,
movie,
there's a sequel.
yeah.
yeah. See, and the only reason why that movie's so great is because that dude was the only dude that boxed Jason. Like he was, you know, that was the only reason why.
Who was
I
it? Was it
brought
like
that
Busta Rhymes? Or something?
No. This one was the old one. Jason Takes Manhattan. Busta Rhymes was in the Halloween movie, Michael Myers movie that came out
yep,
after
yep,
H2O.
You're right. Yes.
The
There's a Birdemic sequel as well.
Oh no.
God.
Yeah. There's like a very long dance. There's an entire music video in the second movie.
I'm going to try to find like some merch for Gray
I don't
for
know if I'm.
Birdemic,
I don't
and
know if
Ugh.
I'm
Send
mentally
it
Burn
to me.
it.
prepared.
I'll burn my whole mailbox.
I know if I'm
I-
mentally prepared.
I love that you don't know where I live.
I don't. But we're going to figure it out.
you ever will.
We're going to figure out how.
Just for, oh my god, actually I'd be really curious what the heck Birdemic merch exists.
Oh God, if it does, it's funny. Oh no.
Oh, I'm sure someone out there, their moms were probably really proud of them.
Oh God. And now talking of Dungeons and Dragons though, have you guys seen the first Dungeons and Dragons movie? The one with like the Marlon Wayans and
No.
I don't know
No,
who
but
else
I
did it.
would.
So-
I do
I don't
like
think
the
so.
Wayans brothers movies.
So Marlon Wayans was in Dungeons and Dragons along with, I can't remember who else was in it, the main guy, but I do remember the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I actually remember liking it a little bit. Like, I mean, it was actiony, it was what it was back then, but man, I just don't remember too much about it, but I just remember that I actually did enjoy it. So that's one you should definitely check out. I recommend that one. And another movie, I actually know Gray enjoyed this movie. I think you've seen it. One that I didn't enjoy, which was the Double Dragon movie.
Oh.
I liked it. Was corny as heck, and one of the guys was hot. So like.
Okay, well, there we go. Now we know why, right?
No, it's look. I went into that thinking this is gonna be garbage, and I came away thinking, yeah, that was garbage.
Yeah.
And also had a hot guy.
Yeah.
It met expectations.
Well, it was weird because back then, back when I was growing up, this is how things worked out when it came to like video game movies and like video game stuff. So if there was a popular video game that was going around, the first thing they would do back in the 80s and 90s is they would make a cartoon of it. So there was a Double Dragon cartoon for the longest time, and I loved it. So of course, Double Dragon like 2 and 3 and all that stuff starts coming out. So then they decided to do a movie. So I was like super excited. But yeah, that movie was, whew. I didn't
Good.
yeah, not good at all. Like it was just like, oh man. I mean, it was funny though. Like it was pretty comedic though.
Yeah.
And Double Dragon wasn't necessarily comedic. The cartoon was though, of course, it's a kitty cartoon, but
Yeah.
I think maybe that's where they might have like got the, thought about doing that movie was because of course it's for kids. It was Nintendo. So, but that, yeah, Double Dragon was that one in DOA.
I was
movie.
just about to say, because I like, of course, I have like a list to the side of me, and I was just like, oh, I didn't realize there was a Dead or Alive movie.
Oh,
I didn't either.
fuck up, man. Oh yeah, that movie. I mean, now granted, as you know what DOA is, right? So
Oh yeah, lots of boobs.
Yeah,
And
so
boobs.
the movie, it was funny because the movie was like that. Well, in a sense, it wasn't necessarily all about the boobs, but it was very about the girls.
I have
And-
to send you, Gray. I'm gonna send you a picture of the box cover,
Oh, no.
just to give you a
Oh,
visual.
no.
Oh, what
Oh,
the DOA,
There you go. Yeah, DOA.
the movie,
Oh
or the
no! Oh no!
so
Yes.
yeah, so the movie actually had Jamie Presley in it, which is funny enough because
Yeah.
I love Jamie Presley, but the movie and a lot of the action and stuff, I mean, it was okay, but the movie was very cheesy. It was all about, it did have the girls in the bikini stuff, and it did have the like sexualization stuff, but it was really cheesy. It was really not a good movie.
Is there a time where it's not cheesy?
I know that's true, but it was just really, that one was something I recommend it because it's something you could definitely laugh at because it has a lot of like just corny lines, corny stuff. That's definitely one we'll have to watch on movie night or something.
Before
for
More
sure.
recent,
before filming.
Sonic and Detective Pikachu.
Oh
Wait,
yes.
as in together?
No.
I was
those
like,
two are just,
hold
more
up.
recent.
Oh yeah, I actually
No, I
love the
liked
Sonic movies.
those.
Oh yeah, I love Sonic. The Sonic movie is good.
I liked Sonic and I haven't seen the second one, but I liked that one and
I've seen them both,
Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
Which I was surprised because I don't typically like stuff like that,
yeah.
but I thought it was really well made. I also really liked how they responded to fan feedback
Yeah.
when that like first trailer.
Yeah.
Oh
'cause
yeah, you
that
talking about
was
Sonic? Yeah.
awful. Sonic with
Yeah.
human
Yeah.
teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, that was Ooh. And I'm glad they did that way too. But
That's
the
my
Sonic
super
movie
grossest
was so great, and I don't care what anybody says. I think the reason why the Sonic movie carried so well was honestly Jim Carrey. Like,
Oh, 100%.
there's a scene in that movie, and it wasn't even the big comedic scene, but it was just something that had to do with coffee, and it's just Jim Carrey's so weird. Like the guys, he just says a line. He's just like, would you like another coffee, Mr. Robotnik? And he's like, and he screams at him. He goes, are you out of your mind? He's like, of course I want a new coffee. I like the way you make them. Like it was the way he did it. Only Jim Carrey could do to
Yeah.
make it that funny. But
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
that like I definitely agree. Like he made that movie. I don't think it would have been anywhere near what it was
Yeah,
without him.
for sure. He did.
So-
He
No
made
offense
it.
to the other people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean he.
No offense. Everyone was great. You were all lovely, but
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, the Jim Carrey, man, he did it. Like I mean, people were kind of like, why is he playing Dr. Robotnik? You know, because Robotnik was like, or Eggman was like, you know, he was a bigger dude, so everybody's like, what do you know? I'm like, who cares? Like he did a phenomenal job. Like he killed it. I love that, and also it was pretty. It got a lot of good reviews for a gay movie. Like it was done really
Yeah.
well, and Sonic 2 as well. Sonic 2 was done pretty well.
You know, you just said that.
Yes.
You just said that blood is expensive, and my mind flashed back to you mentioned Cabin in the Woods earlier on,
Oh yeah.
and the scene where there's like kind of like the creature from the Black Lagoon kind of like reference, and like they cut out most of it in the movie. Like I think they only added like a few seconds of like the blood spurting out of it, but in like the actual like production, that went on for like 30 seconds or more of just like
wow.
constant just blood splatter like coming out of this like this like costume.
that's so much.
Yeah.
That's so much.
And it was Nancy from A Nightmare on Elm Street. Her and her husband's company were behind like all of the effects in that movie because most of them were practical.
Aw.
There was like only
Aw.
a few of them
love
that
that.
were like CGI.
I love practical stuff.
Yeah.
Practical makes such a difference. It just, I
It
mean,
does.
looks more realistic.
I
but
will
it just,
say,
like,
I think they only had like a month to get like all of them together, and I was just like, oh my god, there's so much in that movie. Cause like,
yeah.
like even in these like individual little cubes that they see in these movies, there's like things that you don't even like, they're not really utilized outside of those cubes, but they still had to make things for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like when it comes to like CGI stuff. There's another. I want to say game adaptation, but that's not entirely true. There's actually people confuse this movie, and it's old. But there's a movie called Tron.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was actually labeled as like one of the first movies to use CGI. But
Oh really?
yeah, and
Oh.
a lot of people confuse it because they think that Tron is actually based off the game, which is not. But the games have picked up a lot of traction. Like when I was young, when Tron came out, everything came out in '82. That was the year I was born. But that's when but you know, the Atari and all that stuff, Tron, the game came out. But so now they kind of like go back and forth. But interesting enough, I do recommend that one because it is a wonderful, wonderful movie. I love Tron very much. And it still holds up today, funny enough, even though it was back in '82. But both Trons actually, what was the newest Tron 2.0? It came out in like, I don't know, like 2010, I think. I
Yeah, it
believe.
was ages ago.
That's the one that I saw.
Yeah.
I never saw the original.
Yeah.
but the remake was fun.
Yeah, it was good. The remake was really good. I really
Daft
loved
Punk
it.
cameo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, it was good. And the original Tron, I do recommend. It's really good. The guy that played in the first Tron is actually in the newest Tron that came out. I can't remember his name right off, but I want to say
I like it
Jeff
when they do that.
Jeff Bridges, or who it was. I think. But yeah, I love when they do that. And oh, really quick, I was just looking up the cast of the House of the Dead movie. One of them in that movie, I don't remember, was Walter Emmanuel Jones. I don't know if you know who Walter Emmanuel Jones is, but he
Not by
played.
name.
He's the Black Power Ranger.
Oh! Oh my god!
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I forgot to mention that because I was like, I knew there was somebody in that movie is the reason why I wanted to see it when it came out, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember him.
Oh, I was a Power Rangers kid.
I was too. I was a big Power Ranger dude.
That and
But, yeah.
the Transformers animated series, but like I liked the one like before the 1986 movie rather than the show after it. It was still good. The 1986 movie is probably one of my favorite movies. I have the soundtrack on vinyl. It's great. Go listen to it.
Aw.
But the Transformers show before the movie, I just feel like it had like I guess better storyline.
Yeah, I love those too.
And
Are you-
Thundercats was a big one for me.
Oh,
and
don't
I
get me
don't
started
know
on
if
that.
Cats.
If
Oh.
anybody,
I love
anybody ever remembered it? Oh, He-Man and She-Ra also. But like, if anybody remembered it, but Biker Mice from Mars.
Dude, listen, don't get me started on all that.
Like nobody talks about it, and it was so good.
I can go on forever about all that. Thundercats and
Oh,
He-Man, She-Ra,
like
Biker Mice. Oh,
mid-80s cartoons were a great time.
they were the shit. I'll tell you one. I'll give you real quick, a really good one that you guys should watch if you haven't seen it. You guys know who Rick Moranis is?
I know the name.
I know the name.
Okay, so he played on Ghostbusters.
Jinx.
Okay.
He played on Ghostbusters as their like little nerdy sidekick, but he was mainly famous for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Yeah, he's the dad, the guy with the glasses. So
Oh,
he
right,
he
him.
had his own cartoon in the 80s called Gravedale High.
Oh, I know
and
that.
He pretty much he was a professor of the high school classroom of nothing but classic monsters. Like the students
that
were
sounds
like
good.
yeah, the students were like Frankenstein, the young bride of Frankenstein, young Dracula, young mummy, you like all that stuff. And it yeah, it was one of my favorite cartoons. I have to show it to you. I'll send it to you guys. You guys have to check it out. But yeah, I can go on and on about these cartoons, dude. Don't get me started on those 80s cartoons. That was like me all growing up right there, was those cartoons. But
I do remember that there was a Biker Mice from Mars game.
yeah.
But for whatever reason, my mind keeps defaulting to the Charlie's Angels PS2 game, which was
Oh, God.
awful. Like
That's a you can do video games to movies okay sometimes.
Yeah.
I do not believe you can go the other
Yeah.
direction.
like the movies / shows to video games don't always work really well. Like
Oh my
Charlie's
God.
Angels was awful.
E.T. anyone?
Oh god. I will
man.
say there was a He-Man game for I think it might have been PS2 or PS3.
Yeah,
that was
PS2.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't played that though. I want to check it out though.
It's great. But I'm looking at this with nostalgia. So
Oh.
because He-Man's one of my favorite things. Like I'm generally not somebody that collects like the pop vinyls, but I have a lot of the He-Man ones.
Oh wow.
Wonder Woman. Have a few Wonder Woman.
I mean, I guess it's, in the range, like even games that are made from movies, some of those do well too.
This is true.
I'm blanking on any of them that succeed.
I
I believe you.
No, it was one that comes to mind is Spider-Man.
This is true. The
Spider-Man.
games did good.
Yeah.
Well, but that came from comics first.
Well, yeah, I mean it
So
came
I
from
feel
comics.
Like it's not
Well, the one I'm talking about in general is the one that came from the movie adaptation from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Because it came out on PS2 or PS3.
PS2 it would have been.
I think it was PS2. It was Spider-Man the movie, the game is what you would call it.
Yeah. I'm sure
Yeah.
there was one for Spider-Man 3 as well.
Was
Because
it?
I just kind of like offhandedly remember it, and I remember because I probably played it when I was like maybe like 11 or 12, maybe a little bit older, but like I remember
Yeah.
like not being very good at it.
Yeah, I remember it being like, I mean, a lot of people loved it. And there's one more game that I'll bring up. A lot of people are just not realizing how good it was, though, for some reason. I've been seeing like clips of it recently. And that's the Wolverine game that was based off the Wolverine movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it was because, like, I guess because the Wolverine movie actually didn't do very well.
No,
So-
it was good though.
Yeah, it
X-Men
was-
Wolverine.
Yeah, it was good, but it didn't do very well. So I guess the game was just like canned. Like, but people have been playing it recently, and it's really good. It's gory and it's got like fatalities in it. It's like, and it's like people are just like really loving it lately. So those are only two I can really tell you. I mean, there's others, but some, yeah, they're not as good as some of those. But yeah, I mean, generally, yeah, movie to games, yeah, generally do suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because let's.
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, because I think it's kind of the problem of why it's hard to make video games into movies is
Yeah.
like having to cut the content and like going from place to place and like getting stuff or getting info. You have to like abridge that for it to work in a movie. So then if you're taking a movie and turning it into a video game, the movie often doesn't have that stuff that would turn into gameplay. It's just like the plot with some action. Like even action movies, it's a lot more limited than what would be then spaced out through an entire video game. So then it's just like, okay, what do you insert to fill in all of these gaps, but maintaining the same integrity as the movie plot? And I just feel like that's it's easier to cut something back than it is to fill it with a whole bunch of stuff.
I agree. And funny enough, though, you couldn't tell me that when I was a kid, when I was playing Rambo on the NES, because that game is so bad and so hard. It's difficult, but it was so bad. But I was a Rambo guy. Like, you couldn't convince me my name wasn't Rambo when I was a kid. Yes, I was very weird.
Aww.
I had
Cute, though.
I know it was so bad that like I ended up getting like the Rambo kit. Like I had the headband,
Oh, shit.
dog tags, the gun, the bazooka. Like I had all that stuff. Like,
You're real cool.
oh yeah, I got in trouble because I threw one of the fake grenades in the oncoming traffic once. So anyway,
Oh my god!
That's a problem.
I was so yeah, but and you couldn't call me my real name. You had to call me Rambo. Like I remember when I was a little kid, when I was little, I would go take trips to this campsite back and forth to Canada, and there was a kid who was like, "Oh, you're cool," and he's like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "My name is Rambo." And I just remember him running into his camper going, "Mom, can Rambo come play?" And I'm just like, and my grandmother got on my butt really bad about it. But no, Rambo was like my other game that I didn't mention before that I was highly obsessed with. That was based off of a movie, and playing it now, it's really, really bad. Really.
You
But yeah,
mentioned NES games just there, and I just suddenly just flashed back to was it Friday the 13th for NES?
Oh my God.
Oh,
So hard.
yeah.
So
I
hard.
loved that game.
It's so good, but it's so hard.
It is good, and it is hard. The freakiest parts of that game is when you had to go into the houses and then it was in first person.
Yeah.
And like you could run into Jason just randomly right there in the house and you had to fight him. Like, oh dude, that
So
game scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
I think I played it once, like on some emulator, just because I was like, I need to experience it, and within 5 minutes I was dead, and I was like, yep,
Yeah.
that went about as expected.
I mean, there's technically also like I'm saying newer Friday the 13th game, but it's like 2014 or something that it came out.
Yeah.
And then there's the Evil Dead game that just came out.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And I played the other ones on PS2 as well. Those were good.
yeah.
I feel like that's how you do a movie to game adaptation, predominantly like for a slasher thing. It
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense
Like
to follow
a
the model
4v1.
of like, here's the killer and the survivors. Like,
For
that's
sure.
smart.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to worry about plot and like locations and things for them to do. It's just
Yeah.
I will
survive.
say what
Yeah,
I
and
did
it's-
what I did really
It's
like
sad.
about the newer Friday the 13th game is that like if you're playing as Jason, like you'll like hear your mother talking, and I'm just like, that's good.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Oh, that's a really good detail.
It is. I also like that when you're playing as Jason, if the other players are using their headsets to speak, you can hear them as Jason to where they are. Like you actually have to be silent in order for Jason to not hear you.
I didn't know that. And
Yeah.
That's good.
in that same reign, you could put like Alien Isolation as like.
Yeah.
Well, it's I believe, did the comics come first or did the movie come first?
Of what?
don't-
On
I think the movie.
yeah, it was
Okay.
the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. God, that's such a good movie. And
It
also
is.
So good.
uses practical effects.
Yes.
Definitely, yes.
So good.
And speaking of another one, well, this game kind of sucked, but the movie that was The Thing, the game
The
of The
Thing.
Thing actually wasn't really.
I haven't seen the game.
Oh, I've watched
Thing?
a playthrough of the game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I actually did I actually tried to stream it. Well, I did stream it one day. It's
Oh, maybe that's what I saw.
yeah,
Maybe I saw you.
probably. Yeah, it was fun. It is fun, and it's got some
Oh,
really
I
cool mechanics
see.
about it. Like the AI is really janky. That's the main thing that drives me nuts. But you have if you've watched The Thing, it has that mechanic in there where your teammates might not trust you. You know what I mean? Based on your actions, and
I'm
it
looking
really
at
follows that.
screenshots of it, and it looks very PS2.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
PS2. It's on the PC as well.
Prime polygons.
Oh yeah, and it is on the PS2 and or on the PC. Sorry, but yeah, it has that trust system in there. Like if you accidentally shoot your teammate, like he might not trust you, or he'll try to kill you because he'll think you're the alien. Like it's really
Be the
cool.
Musums.
Yeah, and it's good.
If someone shot me, I wouldn't trust them.
Right. Like it's really good. Based on your actions, they won't trust you. Yeah, and but like it's just the AI is super jank. Like you know what I mean? Like you'll be walking somewhere, trying to get something, and you turn around and you realize none of your teammates are behind you, and then you realize you have to go back 2 bases just to go find your teammate who's standing there or running into a wall. Like but the game is still it is fun though once that's out of the way, and it's scary, but yeah, that one's I tried to stream that one and my AI started effing up, so I quit. But I do recommend it though if you can get a good game going without the AI being super stupid. But yeah, the thing is great.
Okay. I think that's probably a good place for us to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think so.
I think so.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you guys next week. You'll find all of our socials, all of our Twitch streams below.
And if you guys have any recommendations for things for us to watch,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
comment
yes.
below. Any adaptations that you guys recommend?
I've been 8-Bit Baka,
I'm Rain.
I'm Gray.
and we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.